What's up, guys? I'm Vocal Strike, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Final Fantasy IX. Last time, we have begun our journey through Memoria, and have defeated Malaris, the guardian that Freya and Amaranth had to fight. And this time, we are continuing through Memoria to take on another guardian. So, alright, before we actually do head on, I did change up the equipment a bit. Not by much, but for this coming boss, you want wind protection. Either wind resistance, wind absorption, wind nullification, whatever. You want wind protection for this upcoming fight. Fire defense is also good for this upcoming fight, but wind is the priority. So if you have a way of defending against both, that is preferred, but again, wind is priority. So I basically just kind of gave people a form of wind defense and wind nullification. This does mean that Amaranth cannot learn autoflow just yet, but again, autoflow isn't really that important right now, or really for the rest of the game. But we'll make it work. As for abilities, what you primarily will want for this upcoming boss is body temp and loudmouth. Also, if you have Dragon Killer, equip that to your offense as an offensive skill. But otherwise, the two support ones that you mainly want is loudmouth and body temp. So that's basically what I did. I took out the killers and put on body temp. Screw it. But other than that, Zidane didn't really change much. Steiner didn't change much because, well, only your mages have loudmouth. No one else does. And there is also one other thing I do want to mention. I mentioned at the end of last episode that I mentioned at the end of the last episode that some not safe for work game LPs was going to show up on the support channels. It turns out I can't do that because they either do not allow it at all for 18 plus accounts, because I do not safe for work stuff on like artworks and stuff on other sites. So I marked all of them as 18 plus. There's either a file size limit, so I can't really upload a video that is too big. Like, it was clearly meant for small, like, animations or smaller videos, not full-blown LP episodes. Or they just straight up don't allow video uploads, period. So, with that out of the way, we are going to be moving on, and we get a scene. Isn't this Alexandria? What is Alexandria Castle doing here? What? What you talk about? I not see anything. Of course you can't see anything. You weren't with us at the time, so it's not in your memory. They did. In his bid to defy me, Kuja tried to acquire Alexander, an incident 10 years ago started everything. He did say that Memoria was created by these party members' memories. So we're gonna want to look around here, and we see that there is an option to select the party members. But there's also the Angel Flute. This is Aiko's ultimate flute. So this is Aiko's ultimate weapon, not counting the racket. So I am going to temporarily bring Aiko in, and let's see what that flute's about. Angel Flute doesn't hit as hard as the racket, but the rackets are more offensive than the flutes are anyway. But this is Aiko's ultimate flute. Teaches Holy Esena and Kiraga, legendary flute that is said to enchant anyone who hears its tune. Just like any other ultimate weapon in the game, this is the only Angel Flute in the game. So let's bring Dagger back in. But also, that scene is checkpoint number 4 for the Nero Brothers side quest. Can I actually? No, I can't. But I can actually save here just in case. So I will see you back again over at Lindblum. Okay, back at Lindblum. And like always, we want to try to enter the base. Zanero, Banero, and Gennaro and Dinero aren't here. I'd better go look. And that is checkpoint number 4 done. I'll see you back at Memoria. Ooh, on the way back to Memoria, Amaranth learned auto regen. So now, is there nothing else? Nope. Okay, so now I can actually do this. And then swap this out with the feather boots so I can actually start learning auto float again. Alright, back to where we were. We get to move on to the next screen. Huh, floating objects. Yeah, this place can be a little bit trippy. A storm. So over here, there's another Phantom Master. Well, another Phantom card player. This one's the defense Phantom. But believe it or not, that short scene is checkpoint number 5. So now we gotta go back to Lindblum. Oh! I was coming back here to also just go ahead and rest at the end of Fully Heal and buy some ethers because I was running low and I did not even know this was here. So apparently if you actually come into, I guess, this inn more than once, he will leave like a comment about it. I've already been here a few times and I like this inn. Location is good because it's right in front of the aircab station. And it's nice having a Moogle around. I just wish it were cheaper. Zidane. Oh, I guess the more you know. There's no real reason to it. You don't get anything for it. You don't get an achievement for it. Nothing. Well, So I couldn't really buy any ethers since it didn't have any, and I couldn't remember where you could buy them. It turns out you can't. The only person you can buy them from is from Stiltskin, and that's only a one time each visit. Like, that's only one time per stop. And we can't synthesize them yet, so we're going to have to deal with having low ethers for the time being. But, you know the drill by now. Zanero and Bonero and Gennaro and Dinero and Panero aren't here. I'd better go look. This is Bonera. So, if the name doesn't give it away, the heart should. It hints that despite that they're using the same models for all the siblings, this one's a girl. She's a sister, not a brother. Back to Memoria. Okay, back here at Memoria. We are going to continue on. Let's heal up, cause oh, that hurt. Hey, what are you doing? You shouldn't go anywhere. There's a storm. Watch out, you're gonna get washed away. Dagger, I just saw a little girl on a ship and... Huh? Guess it was my imagination. Yeah, it had to be. What I just saw definitely isn't one of my memories. What's going on? That was my memory. Why was Zidane able to see it? Zidane? Yeah, what's up? You didn't imagine anything. Wait, you saw it too? That means that little girl was you. But why was I able to see something from your memory? I don't know. Hey, Garland, what's going on? Garland, can you hear me? I feared Gaia's eidolons more than anything. However, I decided to deal with them before they became a major problem. So, we just got back from Lindblum. That scene was checkpoint 6, which means back to Lindblum. Ooh, on the way to Lindblum, Steiner learned Stock Break. So we're gonna equip Ragnarok back on him so that he can start hitting really hard now. Zanero and Bonero and Gennaro and Dinero and Panero and Bonera aren't here. I'd better go look. So yeah, as of Bonera, all the other quote-unquote Nero siblings that we're going to be seeing from now on are sisters, not brothers. Even though they call this the Nero Brothers side quest. But of course, again, back to Memoria. Okay, we're back. I'm sorry for all the back and forth this episode, but for the Nero Brothers, you kinda have to. But the bright side is that we're almost through with it. What is that thing? That eye. It's the same eye I saw on the night of the storm at sea. Zidane, can you hear me? Zidane, what you just saw was from your memory, and not Garnet's. What? I don't remember ever being in a storm at sea. You still don't understand. You will find out soon enough. What do you mean? Can other people's memories become part of my own? Garland! Once you accept everything, the answer will appear before you. A tremendous force was summoned to Gaia during the Age of War. However, the Gaians were not ready to harness so great a power. They were terrified and broke the jewel into 4 pieces, and they prayed never to see it again. Alexander. And that scene is checkpoint number 7, which means we are going back to Lindblum. But first, if we look over here, we've received the Rune Claws. This is Amaranth's ultimate weapon. It will teach Spare Change, Demi-Shock, and Revive, a legendary combat clause that use the power of darkness to unleash a destructive force beyond imagination. Add status, Darkness. He is so close to finishing that, I might as well let him finish it. And, again, back to Lindblum. On the way to Lindblum, Amaranth learned Autofloat. So let's see what else we can teach him. Long Reach. Well, I guess he's learning Long Reach. Zanera and Banera and Genera and Danera and Panera and Banera and Zanera aren't here. I'd better go look. That is checkpoint number 7. Back to Memoria once again. Look at the bright side, there's only 2 left we have to do. Okay. Finally back again. Again, I am sorry for all the back and forth we're doing this episode. But if you're doing the Nero Brothers side quest, you don't really have a choice. But look at the bright side. We only have 2 checkpoints left. And it's time for another boss fight. This time it's the Guardian that Vivi and Steiner had to fight. So you have defeated Malorus. For Tiamat, there is only victory. This is Tiamat. So, for starters, we are going to be using Soul Blade. And we're going to be stealing from this guy. So this guy can be equipped as, can be inflicted with Silent, Sleep, and Slow. He will use wind attacks, cast Float on you to make his wind attacks stronger. You can dispel the float, but if you have, wind immunity, then you don't need to dispel anything. Okay, animation was a little bit buggy there, but okay. But he does have a few things that we can steal. Nothing we haven't seen already before. But hey, this allows us to... Okay, we got the Blood Sword. And we got the Feather Boots, which leaves only the rare item. He will, of course, also absorb, like, your MP, your strength, to make you weaker, and make himself stronger. Nope. I might just go ahead and wail away then, because I'm not too worried. But his weakness is ice, so let's see how much Shiva does. $3,869. And now we're gonna see how much Bahamut does. I'm fine with you absorbing his magic. He doesn't have much magic. Okay, Bahamut does a little bit more. And of course, Silent Claw is the physical attack that inflicts, well, silence. Ow. But of course, absorbing all that strength basically made sure that, well, he does max damage now. So we're gonna be very... So we gotta take this guy out fast. Come on. Need to take this guy out quickly. That's fine. I'm not going to physically attack with dagger anyway. So why should I care if her strength gets absorbed? Nice if you could have put darkness on this guy, but you can't. Honestly, the PS1 era, like, summoning animations is, like, have always been kind of long. They're like, hey, we worked hard on these animations, you're going to appreciate them. But those long animations also kind of ensures that, hey, kind of ensures that we're dealing max damage here. Or at least as much damage as we can actually do with the summons. There we go. Goodbye, Tiamat. Couldn't get the Grand Helm, but oh well. And we get an Ether and a Ween Edge. And being Tiamat is checkpoint number 8. So, back to Lindblom. Zanera and Banera and Janera and Danera and Panera and Banera and Zanera and Janera aren't here. I better go look. That is checkpoint number 8. We only have one checkpoint left to complete the Nera Brothers side quest. Next time on Final Fantasy IX, we are going to be completing the Nera Brothers side quests, continuing through Memoria, and face yet another boss. You could probably guess what this you could probably guess that we're facing all 4 of the Temple Guardians. So this one's going to be Guardian number 3. Thanks so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. I can stay up to date on all my videos. And please do consider supporting me on Patreon, Pixel, Fanbus, and subscribe. So it really does help me out. You'd be supporting me in the channel. I'll be able to make more content for you guys. Links are down in the description as always. And I will see you all in the next episode. Bye.